How's it going, guys? She's a Cat's here on the Tressa's Collectibles channel, and today we're going to be bringing you guys a product opening for the long-awaited English original set, RWBY. This is a deck that a lot of people have been joking about coming to English Weiss Schwarz for years and years now, pretty much ever since English started Weiss Schwarz, and now we finally have the actual RWBY cards that we can play here in Weiss Schwarz. So we've got a lot of products to run through today. Let's go ahead and take a look at each one real quick before we get to opening. So first up, we have the trial deck. We have the RWBY supply set. This is the product that goes to pretty much all of the English original series, and RWBY is no exception. And of course, we have one booster box. So we're going to be opening each of these for you guys today. Hopefully we can pull some cool stuff. And yeah, let's get right into it. So before we get into the first opening, also we have to take a look at this beautiful RWBY case topper playmat. You get 4 of these playmats with every case, so 1 for every 4 booster boxes purchased. Alright, so the first product we're going to be opening today is our trial deck. So trial decks, as you guys probably all know, these are pre-constructed decks. They come with the same 50 cards every time, and they're basically starter decks for this game. And you also do have a chance to pull certain variant cards like RRRs and SPs. As far as the ratios on those, 1 RRR is normally included in every display of 6 trial decks, while an SP is typically 2 SPs per sealed case of 48 trial decks. So as far as the SPs in the RWBY trial deck, there are 2 possible SPs that you can pull, which are the RWBY and the Weiss. So hopefully luck is on our side and we can pull one of those today. So as with all trial decks, you do get the usual stuff like the paper playmat, as well as the mini guidebook, teach you some of the rules and tricks of the game. And then of course we have the main attraction, the trial deck itself. So let's go ahead and take a look at what's inside. So with every trial deck, you're guaranteed 2 SR foils, the first of which is the cover card, which is the level 1 RWBY combo. This is a very solid trial deck combo with the ability to, on reverse, look it up to 4 cards from the top of your deck, choose up to 1 of them, add it to hand, send the rest to waiting room, and then give a character 2k. So very solid offensive power, and also allows you to gain advantage as well as snowball the power for the rest of your board. So very good card. And then we have for the second SR, the Gate Climax that goes with it, Initiation. And very, very nice SR art as well. And now getting on to the normal cards in the trial deck. So if we do pull a RRR or SP, it should be at the very back of the pack. So we're going to run through each of the cards one by one. So we have RWBY running. So because there's only 1 copy here, I assume that means that I haven't actually taken a good look at which cards come RRR, but because there's only 1 copy here, I assume that means that the second copy is at the very back. Typically, all of the cards that can come RRR or SP will be at the very back, and then that's where, if you pull the foil version, that's where you would find it. So we have the RWBY. She is a back row runner as well as a pay 1. Sack herself to look at top 4. This is a profile that we have seen before. This pair of abilities in That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime, Volume 1. So a very solid card. We have Yang free falling, you know, all of them getting launched off the cliff. Yang's just having the time of her life out there. We do have 4 copies of this, a very solid early game beater. If you have 2 or less stock, she gains 1500 power, making her 4k. And next up, we have Best Girl, PYRRHA. PYRRHA is a bonder, so she is the bond in this particular trial deck. And she does, I believe, where is the... Here, oh, it's actually right here. So she does bond to the level 1 John Vanilla. So having John and PYRRHA as a pair obviously makes sense, as those two have a pretty nice relationship in RWBY. We have the RWBY Level 0 Mill Runner. This is a super strong card. I actually cannot believe that they included a card this strong in the trial deck. And it's appropriate that this card, I believe, is the one that can come SP. So when we get to the end, hopefully we can pull this card as a foil. But yeah, this is a very, very strong card. You get 2 copies of it per trial deck. And honestly, this card is a pretty good reason to pick up two more copies of this card, or even like a second trial deck. That's something that a lot of newer players are recommended to do when picking up a new set, is just start with 2 copies of the trial deck. That ensures that you get 4 copies of every card included. So we have 2 copies of the John Vanilla, 2 copies of the Glinda 1/1 Hand Encore. She gains power every time another character attacks. Typically not a really great Hand Encore profile 1/1, because typically people want their 1/1 Hand Encores to be higher on the defense, whereas Glinda is very low on defense and much higher on offense. Here we have the other 3 copies of the RWBY level 1, the non-foils. But man, this foil art just looks so nice. If I was playing with this RWBY combo, I would definitely want 4 copies of that foil. It just looks so good. 2 copies of the Ren, Lyren 2K backup. Very nice that they're including 2K backup in the trial deck. 2 copies of the Nora 2/1. She has Hand Encore and gains a lot of power on attack, allowing her to kill a lot of things, including some level 3s sometimes, if your opponent plays like some early play level 3s. 2 Pyrrha level assists, and she also has pay 2 rest salvage, so good for boosting your mid to late game cards, and also able to get you some card advantage in a pinch. And here we have the first of the level 3s in the trial deck. Every trial deck, for the most part, comes with 2 different level 3s, and the first one in this one is the Yang. So she is a healer, and then when she attacks, she can pay 1 and discard 1 card to give all your remnant characters 500 power and +1 soul until end of turn. So this is a card that we've seen originally from Sword Art Online, like way back from the original Sword Art Online 1 set. And it was a solid card there, and honestly a really solid card today, even with a lot of newer, more up-to-date profiles running around. Next up we have the Initiation Relic event, the chess pieces. So this is a very nice trial deck event as well, and in my opinion is another one of the reasons that you should either pick up 2 copies of the trial deck, or this should be one of the cards that you should be looking to max out at 4 copies for your deck building collection, as this is a card that you may want to run 3 or 4 copies of in your deck. Here we have the non-foil version of the Gate Climax Initiation. We have that Weiss and RWBY synergy, and I'm loving the flavor text on this one. Of course you would come up with this idea. And yeah, so that lovely slingshot combo, slingshotting RWBY straight up the hill. That was such an epic scene. I remember when RWBY first came out, just like watching that scene in the middle of the first volume was just super exciting. Here we have the Blake Brainstorm. So this is Brainstorm 5, Draw Brainstorm, following the recent upgrade, I guess, of Trial Deck Brainstorms now being Brainstorm 5s. And in addition, she does give your center slot character Hand Encore, so that if you have a high value character, you can stick them in the center slot and bring them back to attack more on future turns. We have Professor Ozpin, front 500, and you can rest him to choose one of your characters, give it 1000 power until end of turn. Very nice, especially with cards such as like your level 1 RWBY combo. Even though she is already attacking for a pretty respectable 7500 power with combo, if you need to get even higher, you can use Ozpin's ability to further buff your board, giving this deck a lot of offensive power. We have Torchwick, level 0. He has a filter ability when you play him, and also on death pay 2 search, so you can use him to potentially tutor out more important characters for your mid to late game. And we have the 2/1 Weiss. This is actually a double combo with the Gate combo. So it doesn't just combo with the RWBY, it also combos with the Weiss, which is a really, really nice reason to run this package of cards. So when she's placed on stage from hand, you can choose any of your remnant characters, including herself if you want, and that character gets 1500 power until end of turn. So if you use this on herself, she goes up to potentially 9500 power before any other boosts. And her Climax combo with Initiation lets you choose herself and one of your other characters, and when they reverse their characters, you can look at up to 2 from the top of your deck, choose up to 2 remnant characters from among them, add it to your hand. So the fact that you can use this to potentially get 4 cards, 2 from her own reverse, 2 from another character, really, really, really strong way to get extra advantage in the mid game. And we have 2 copies of the Blake. This is the first Blake card, or no, sorry, this is the second Blake card that we've seen. It's just a 2K beater. Not the most notable of cards. Most of the time during your level 2 game, you're going to want to be, if you're like, playing this trial deck, you're going to want to be playing lots of copies of the Weiss, using the combo, getting lots of cards back. And then the other level 3 of the deck, the Weiss level 3, which is a on play, gain a lot of power. She gains 1,000 power for each of your remnant characters, including herself. And she's also a restander, so she's able to attack twice, get off lots of offensive pressure. And this is actually a really, really nice card to combo with some of the other cards in RWBY, which we will hopefully see later on when we open our packs and our box. So here we have the other Climax. We have Team Juniper on the book Climax, and this is an empty book, doesn't combo with anything. And unfortunately, we did not pull a foil out of our trial deck, so these are the last 5 cards. As I said earlier, we do have cards where we only saw 1 copy of them early on, such as the RWBY Runner, the RWBY Back Row Runner, and at the back, this is where we would have had an SP or RRR if we pulled one. So unfortunate that we did not get a foil out of our trial deck, but definitely a lot of really nice cards for Constructed that you should definitely consider picking up. And yeah, so that concludes our trial deck. And now let's get on to our second part of the opening, which will be our supply set. All right, guys, we are back with the supply set. This is the second of the 3 products we're going to be opening today. So we just took a look at the trial deck. Unfortunately, did not pull any SP or RRR in that one, but we do have the supply set next to look forward to. So let's go ahead and crack this open. So a supply set comes with 5 booster packs, which we see here on the side. Comes with a deck box, as well as a pack of 60 sleeves. And let's go ahead and first take a look at the deck box. So it does have a graphic of each of the 4 members of Team RWBY on each of the sides. So we have RWBY on the front, we have Blake on the side, Weiss on the back, and Yang on the other side. And we do have RWBY on the top. And unfortunately, unlike the 7 Deadly Sins deck box, there is no cool, no like meme graphic on the bottom, because I believe on the 7 Deadly Sins box we did have Hawk and his very, very close-up of his face on the box for the 7 Deadly Sins one. We do have the 60 pack of the sleeves. This is actually the RRR art for one of the climaxes, the Weiss level 1 Pants Climax that you will see in the booster pack itself. We have our 5 booster packs, and the supply set also comes with 1 of 4 foil PR cards. So these are the same effects as the possible box topper PRs from the actual booster box, but they have alternate art matching the arts that are on the deck box, and they do all come foil. So in our supply set, we did get a copy of the level 0 RWBY. She gains 1500 power if you have, or 1500 power and +1 level if you do not have any other characters, and she can't side attack. So this is a profile that we've seen in That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime Volume 1 on the level 0 Kaijin. You might have seen us playing with the Kaijin in some of our various That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime gameplay. So definitely a card to consider if you're looking for a big beat stick, but there are so many really, really strong level 0 profiles in RWBY that you can experiment with. So feel free to try this one out as well. And then, of course, at the bottom of the supply set, as part of the packaging, we actually do have the cutout deck separator. So go ahead and cut this out. It's not perforated, unfortunately, so you will have to take some scissors and cut it out yourself. But it does work as a deck separator for you to put inside your deck box, separate like your deck from your spare cards, things like that. And as far as the deck case, the deck box, we do have, for comparison, one of the previous deck boxes from the Mob Psycho 100 supply set. So we can go ahead and take a look at that. We do have the sleeves from the Mob supply set in here as well. So you guys can get an idea of what you can fit into one of these boxes, as they are quite large. We do have here a deck of 50 double-sleeved cards, and they fit in the box quite nicely, as well as some empty room at the back for extra sleeves, extra oversleeves, extra cards, things like that. So rest assured, no matter what you guys need to bring with you, these deck boxes do have ample space. So with that out of the way, let's get into our 5 booster packs, and hopefully we can pull something nice from these. So as far as the ratios for booster boxes. We'll get onto those when we open the booster box themselves. These supply sets do not have set ratios, so we're just going to have to open and pray we get something good. So let's go right into our first pack. Okay, level 0. We have a lot of side characters from the tournament. So we have Scarlet David, Bolin, Nadir. Like, actually, we're just pulling, like, for our commons, we're just pulling, like, all the other competitors from the tournament. Our first, looks like no... Oh, we do have a double R for this one. Awesome. So, a couple of uncommons here. We have John and Ozpin. And for our first double R, we got, of course, Best Girl, Pyrrha, level 0. This is a really, really nice card. Allows you to get some free mill and filtering using her on reverse ability. You get to look at up to 3 cards from the top of your deck, choose up to 1 remnant character from among them, add it to hand, send the rest to waiting room. And in addition, when she becomes reversed in battle, if you have 2 or less cards in memory, you can send her to memory. So, unfortunately, for those of you who are in the know, that is flavor and big Sag. But for the purposes of playing her in a Weiss deck, it is very beneficial, allowing you to get free compression as well as turning on the level 3 RWBY combo, which hopefully we will be pulling later on, as that is a very, very strong combo, and I do want to show you guys that combo. So moving on to our second pack, we have Nora, Bronze, Sage, Coco. Definitely one of my favorite designs for a side character, by the way. Coco had very, very fashionable character. We have the RWBY Climax Swapper, Mercury, and wow, we're just pulling some Fall Maiden rares today. So our second rare is Amber Fall Maiden. So this is another character that you're going to want to be sending to memory, although not for the RWBY deck. You're going to want to be sending her to memory for the Villains deck that uses Cinder cards. And she's also a Salvage Ricky, so pretty strong level 0 profile to get you extra cards. Moving on to our third pack. Okay, let's go ahead and see what we can pull out of these later packs. We already got 1 double R. I'm already pretty happy about that. Let's see if we can pull even more. Not in this pack. We did pull the 2/2 RWBY. This is one of the potential standby targets that you can get out of this set. Typically, people are running either this RWBY or the 2/2 Yang. And the advantage between the two, Yang does have access to the Hand Encore to allow her to stay on field more easily, whereas RWBY has higher power, potentially going up to 10-5 instead of Yang's 10k, and also has an ability that allows you to look at the top card of your deck and decide whether you want to keep it on top or send it to waiting room every time she attacks. So pretty nice effect if you want to make sure you're triggering clean. On to our fourth pack. Freaking Cardin Man, can't stand this guy. Okay, and for our fourth rare, we do have a 2/1 John. He has a couple abilities that work really well with a Pyrrha level 3 that hopefully we'll be able to pull later as well. And then for our climaxes, just realizing that we haven't really been looking at the climaxes as I've basically just been going through the rares. So let's go ahead and just take a look at what we've pulled so far. So we do have Grim Invasion. This is one of the combos that goes in the Villains deck with a Cinder combo. Activist Childhood. This is with the level 3 Blake and shows the scenes of her when she was still part of the White Fang before she left. Fall Maiden's Downfall. F's in the chat for Amber, as unfortunately she is getting kind of wrecked there. And then as we saw, we have the Ozpin Climax that does actually go with the level 3 Ozpin that we pulled earlier. So one of the neat cards that you can look into if you want to try running green in this set. And for our last pack of the supply set, I'm already happy with 1 double R, but let's see if we can pull a second one or even a foil. We have the Shopkeep, level 0 vanilla, actually a pretty hilarious card. You can actually use this with a Torchwick, I believe. Another card that allows you to discard Shopkeep to add some extra cards to your hand. We have Velvet, another one of my favorite side character designs. The Sun level 2 combo. Oh my god, when we pull the foil for this Sun, oh man, that is some dank memes art. And then we have Cinder level 0, Weiss level 0. Ooh, triple R, baby, nice, let's go. We pulled triple R of the Yang Climax. And actually, we pulled both versions of the Yang Climax in the same pack. So we do have the triple R version and the non-foil version. Right before, you know, she got framed by Mercury for beating him up, you know, as the falling into the trap name would imply. But yeah, definitely another really cool fight scene from the tournament arc. But yeah, they didn't have to do Yang like that. So really nice supply set opening. We did get one double R as well as a triple rare. So hopefully we can continue this good luck into the box opening. Hopefully, you know, pull some SPs, maybe pull some Ruby rares, maybe even a secret best girl, you know, Pyrrha. And so yeah, we're gonna cut right here and then come back with the booster box. All right, guys, here we are with our booster box. So as far as the ratios in a booster box goes, you're getting 5 double Rs and 1 or 2 foils. And as far as the case ratios for Ruby, you are guaranteed per case 2 Ruby rares and 1 or 2 SPs. And if your case includes 1 SP, then your case should have a secret rare inside it, which is the level 0 Pyrrha, which is the card that I'm really hoping that we pull today, because Pyrrha, you know, I've been saying it the whole video, Pyrrha best girl, and I'm hoping we do pull a secret. Although, if we pull any of the SPs, those SPs look absolutely amazing. So, let's just hope we pull anything, to be honest, anything good. All right, and in every single booster box, you are getting 20 booster packs and 1 box topper PR. They are the same effects as the ones that you can get in the supply set, but they have different art. So as far as which art, it's basically the 4 arts that you can see on the deck separator that is included in the supply set, and you can also see them here on the front of the Ruby box. So for our booster boxes PR, we did get Yang. So we do have, for our supply set, we got Ruby, and then for our booster box, we got Yang. So now let's get into the pack opening. All right, so for our first pack, we get, starting it off with a rare, you have the level 0 Ozpin. This is a pretty neat level 0 profile, allowing you to rearrange the top 2 cards of your deck, and then also on attack, if you have 1 or less other characters, you can mill 1, and then if that card is a level 0, you can summon it to the back row. So you can use this top check 2 effect to basically rig what card you're going to mill, so that you can guarantee that you're getting that extra summon of a level 0 card, getting a free +1. And he's also used for, you need him in clock as an early play condition for the level 3 Ozpin I showed you earlier. So with that Ozpin, you are wanting to play him down at level 2, and then start minus soul, doing minus soul effects on your opponent's board. I'm queen of the castle, I'm queen of the castle. This is the food fight scene, definitely a very memorable scene. And we have the Taiyang level 1. This is actually a super good low rarity back row in my opinion, with the ability to pay 1, discard 1, rest him, and then look through top 3, add any card. You can do this every single turn. Just good filtering, as long as you have like the extra stock and are willing to go for that filtering. And for our rare, we have the level 2 Cinder support. This is a really strong level 2 support. I'm really excited to test out some decks with this. And we have the, for our Climax, we have the Torchwick, Roman Torchwick. I believe it's on a level 0 combo. Okay, moving on to pack number 3. There's the level 3 Ozpin that we pulled earlier. And no way. No freaking way. No way! We pulled Pyrrha's Secret! Let's go! Oh my god! There's no freaking way. Oh my lord. Do you believe in destiny? Because I believe. I believe. Oh my lord. That's actually insane. Whew! It looks so good. And oh my god, you look at the text, it has like rainbow text. And on the like the level and cost and like the soul trigger border, it's all rainbow. Oh my god. That's actually crazy. Oh my god. Alright, this pack opening is insane. Let's freaking go. Holy. Woo! Alright, doesn't get much better than that, boys. Alright, let's keep going. We haven't even pulled a double R yet, and we just straight into the Pyrrha. Straight into Best Girl Secret Rare. That's crazy. Okay, alright. I need to calm down a bit. Okay, moving on to pack number 4. We're only on pack number 4, guys. We have like the whole box left to go. Alright, Ren. This is our first double R of the box. We have, we'll take a look real quick. We have the John and Pyrrha, the kiss scene right before Pyrrha goes off to fight. And then Ren, this is our first double R. This is a pretty interesting card. He's a level 0 clock bomb, but he requires another character to be on stage, pretty much as a method of balancing the card, because the combination of his two abilities, if you put them together, you wouldn't have a card with like legal power, if that makes sense. This is kind of getting into like, you know, card design and things like that, but basically he's a clock bomb, so he'll allow you to trade with your opponent's character. You get a 1-for-1, but at the same time, he has an on-death ability that allows him to replace himself with a new card from your waiting room. So, super strong profile, definitely deserving of the double R slot, really strong card, and one that you could consider playing in your decks. Okay, moving along. Next pack. And... oh my god. The Yang Drop Search. I actually can't believe this card is an uncommon. It's a 3k drop search, which... like normally, like with utility cards, you're just running them for the utility, but when you have a card like this that is also 3k power, it's a super strong reason to include this in your decks. So you're getting double duty out of the card, being able to use it for utility and power, and also because this is an uncommon, it's a super good card for you to include in not only just like optimized decks, but also it's super easy to pick up if you want to play budget. And then for our rare for the pack, we have the Penny level 1 combo. She's pretty close to the Yotsuba from Quintessential Quintuplets, if you guys have been keeping track of some of our later videos. She does have a different power condition where she gets power on play instead of power during your turn, allowing her to hit a little bit higher, but the Climax combo is basically the same. It combos with a gold bar, you mill 2, you add up the levels, and you get to salvage something whose level is equal or lower than the sum. So, good way to costlessly mill through the deck and guarantee advantage. And in my opinion, the main weakness of Penny is that she's in green. There's not a whole lot of like really good cards in green, and green is already a pretty small color as it is in this set. A lot of the space in the cards went to red, so you might have a issue finding more green cards to run. But if Combat Ready is one of your favorite characters, then definitely look into playing the Penny, as it is a really solid card. Okay. Moving right along, we have the Money Counter, a way to prevent your opponent from dealing damage to you. And it does require 5 characters on stage in order to use, but with RWBY, there are a lot of ways to get really big defensively and protect your board, retain board on field, so that you're able to use this Money Counter in the late game. And next we have the Winter, level 1. And the RWBY's Awakening. This is the standby combo that goes with her level 3 that I'm really hoping that we pull, as that is one of the best cards in the set. And for our Winter, she is a level 2 killer, killing exactly level 2s, not level 2 or higher. So the idea behind that is that this profile is pretty much designed to kill 2/2s that have been brought out via standby, so that you don't start falling super behind at level 1 against standby decks. Okay, moving right along, we do have the Cinder level 1 combo. It's a very similar profile to the Penny combo, but with a few differences. This is one of the ways that you can get the Amber Fall Maiden level 0 into memory, which is important for the late game for the Villains deck. And in this box, also pulling the double R version of the Pyrrha. So in just one supply set and one box, we've pulled 2 double R Pyrrhas and a secret Pyrrha. This is actually just a Pyrrha fan's dream right here. So, you know, me. What a set of openings we got here. And so, actually, you know what? This Ren should be separate, as he is a double R. Okay, so far we've pulled 2 of our double Rs and secret rare. Okay. Freaking Crow Man. Freaking Ladies Man. Uncle Crow. the Pyrrha level 1. This is one of the ways that you can get the Pyrrha level 0 into memory, as opposed to just letting herself get reversed. And she's also a level 1 bomb, as well as an on-play hand filter. Ooh, level 3 double R. We got the level 3 Yang. Oh, sorry, not a double R. The double R Yang is the level 0. But we did pull a really, really neat card, the level 3 Yang, which climax combos with the falling into a trap climax that we pulled earlier. And this is actually one of the cards that, when I was earlier in the trial deck saying that the level 3 Weiss from the trial deck combos really well with some of the cards from the booster, this is one of those cards. So Yang's climax combo allows her to give a cancel burn to one of your other characters. So Weiss is a really, really good candidate, seeing as she is a restander, allowing her to get multiple attacks off, which means you have multiple chances to proc the cancel burn ability from the Yang. So definitely a combination of cards that, if you want to play the Yang level 3, look into also playing the Weiss from the trial deck. Those two have really, really nice synergy. Okay. Next, we do have the Raven, level 1. She is able to buff herself as well as other characters. She gets 1500 power when you play a climax, but more importantly, on attack, she gets to give one of your other characters up to 2k power based on how many cards you have on field. And then for our climax, I said earlier we were going to take a look at this climax if we pulled it. This is the climax for the 2-1 Sun. Man, the freaking ladies man team, actually. I just love how... From the first time I saw this in the show, just like the sign with Wukong's abs on it, it's actually just so funny. Alright. So only 2 double Rs so far, and we're about halfway through the box. I think this is actually the pack that gets us halfway through. So let's see what we get. And okay, we did pull our next double R. Oh, here we have the level 1 gold bar for Penny. And then we do have the Weiss level 1 combo. This is a profile that's pretty much the exact same as a Tae level 1 from Bang Dream Volume 2. And it even has the same climax and pretty much all of the same conditions for the power and the combo, where she reveals the top 3 cards of your deck, and your opponent gets to pick one of them. Pick either a character or an event from the revealed 3, add it to hand, and then you get to choose up to 1 of the remaining 2 and put it on top of your deck. So it gives you some milling power, and it does allow you to control your triggers, but the downside of the card is that your opponent does get to pick which card you're getting added to your hand. So if you want to make optimal use of this card, you want to make sure that the overall card quality of cards in your deck is really high, so that whatever your opponent gives you, it can still be of use to you, so that they're not giving you any useless cards. Okay, moving right along. Level 3 Pyrrha. This is another really useful card. This combos with a standby climax, and it also goes really well with the John level 2 that we pulled in the supply set. And basically with this card, you want to be using the standby to bring her out at level 2, and then use her own ability to stand her, and then start taking control of the board with her first ability that gives all of your characters bonus power, including herself. So she lets you build a really, really strong board at 2, and when combined with the John, level 2, which is a support, you can get Pyrrha to be really, really big so she stays on board, and then boosts all of your other characters for the rest of the game as long as she stays on the board and doesn't get removed. Okay, here we have the Yang 2-2. This is another one of the common standby profiles that you can consider running. Either the 2-2 RWBY that we looked at earlier or this Yang. And the Pyrrha box opening just keeps getting better as we pull the triple R Pyrrha Climax. This is actually kind of crazy how we're just pulling actually everything Pyrrha. So this is the Climax that goes with the level 3 Pyrrha that we just pulled. And honestly, as a Pyrrha fan, could not have asked for a better box opening. But we still got even more left to go. 2 double Rs. Let's see if what we can get. Let's just run through it. Neo. Okay, all right. Neo, this is a card that you're definitely going to want to consider running in most RWBY decks. Her abilities are just really, really strong for a lot of situations. You can pay 1 on play to grab any climax from your waiting room. Really useful for all of you players. You know, we've all had those moments where you hit level 3 and you have literally everything ready to go except the climax. And it's like, man, I wish I had like a top check X or something so I could dig for my climax. Rest assured, Neo's got you covered. She can just grab whichever climax you need straight from waiting room. And then also her other effect, on play, being able to discard a remnant character and then summon 2 cards to your opponent's side of the field from waiting room has really, really strong synergy with certain level 3s like the RWBY level 3 or the Cinder level 3, where you need to have characters on your opponent's field in order for their combos to really work. Neo can just summon cards to your opponent's field and you suddenly have targets to take advantage of on your opponent's board. So definitely a really, really strong card. And then for our next rare, we have the Zwei level 0. He's the goodest boy and is a really, really strong utility card, being able to potentially give you a search and a salvage while also milling 2 at the same time and buffing another character 1k power. Between his 2 abilities, he has a lot of utility potential, and is definitely a card that I would recommend prioritizing for your utility line in your decks. So between the Yang level 0 that we did pull earlier, if we can just dig that out real quick. It's in here somewhere. Did I pull it in? Okay, yeah. So between the Yang level 0 and the Zwei, you do have some very good utility options. So definitely look into running those 2 for your RWBY decks when you're starting out your utility line. Okay. All right, level 3 Cinder as our next double R. So this is one of the cards that Neo allows you to really take advantage of. She's an on-play heal and then also has 11k power if you have Amberfall Maiden in memory. So this is basically Cinder in her like full power form after she's, you know, ripping pepperoni's Amber. But she basically steals the Amber Maiden power and then becomes full power at 11k. And then her climax combo with the gate climax, which I don't think did we actually pull that gate yet? I don't think we actually did, because she doesn't combo with Grim Invasion. She combos with Fall Maiden's Downfall. Oh, we pulled that in the supply set, I believe, actually. But she allows you when you reverse an opponent's battle. When you reverse an opponent's character in battle, she lets you deal 1 damage to your opponent and then send the opponent's character from the stage to the top of your opponent's deck, making future damage easier for you to confirm. And with the Neapolitan, which allows you to put characters on your opponent's stage, you have ways to play around your opponent, like crashing their entire board, leaving their board empty. Because like normally you would just play your Cinder and then she's a healer and then you have nothing to kill, but Neo allows you to get targets to kill. Really, really good combo there. All right, getting on the home stretch. Oh, sorry, this is double R. We have 1 double R left to go. We have the Blake level 3. This has the Mocha ability, for those of you who are familiar with Bang Dream, allowing you to rearrange the top 2 cards of your opponent's deck, send whatever cards you don't want there, like climaxes, to waiting room. And this is actually another really good card to combo with the Neo level 3, not because she needs reverse targets, but because you're able to use her climax combo to confirm the top cards of your opponent's deck. You can actually use Neo to put lower level characters like level 1s on your opponent's board so that Blake can get confirmed damage by side attacking them. So this is a little bit of a more advanced tactic, using like the side attacks with specific levels in order to get specific amounts of damage, but that's definitely something that you can look into playing as well if you want to play a Blake deck. All right, just a few packs left to go with, oh my god, this box is actually crazy! We pulled the level 3 RWBY. This is the one that I've been talking about all the way up until now, just mentioning this multiple times, is what I think is one of the best cards in this set. So this 3/2 RWBY, if all of your characters are Remnant, which, you know, everything in this set is Remnant, so she's always going to be 11k on play heal, and then she has a climax combo with the RWBY's Awakening standby that allows you to burn your opponent as well as clock kick the character across from it, assuming it's level 3 or lower. So this is another card that, as I mentioned, you do want to be comboing with Neo, as she allows you to put characters on your opponent's board that you can then kick to clock with the RWBY combo. And in addition, because this card doesn't have to actually battle anything, she just, the cost is to just rest herself, and she doesn't have to battle. That makes it very, very easy for you to retain bodies on board to use your 2/3 money counter. because you can't get reverse swinging in if you don't battle, right? So definitely a super strong card. This box is crazy. We're pulling so many good cards. All right, so we are done with all of our double Rs. Those are our 5. So we will not be getting any more double Rs for the rest of the box, but we can just run through. We have the Wukong level 0, a very, very interesting profile that allows us to potentially get a +2. And in addition, he's also a strong offensive attacker with 4K power on the turn you play him. Okay. And we do have the Uncle Crow free fresh counter. Definitely a really good card that you're going to want to consider running in your decks, especially if you're running a lot of choice or gate climaxes. If you guys have seen our quintessential quintuplets or 7 Deadly Sins or Data Bullet, or sorry, not quintessential quintuplets, they don't have a free fresh counter, but if you've seen our Data Bullet or our 7 Deadly Sins content, you guys know that in decks where you're running a lot of choice or gate climaxes, you do want to be running free fresh counters, as those climaxes give you the option to pull the card out of waiting room and then just use the free fresh effect to get your deck out of those sticky situations. And for our last pack, we have, one of my favorite rares in the set, James Ironwood. This is a really, really strong utility card, giving you double filter, potentially allowing you to salvage anything from your waiting room, but both of his utility effects being free and allowing you to get a lot of filtering is super, super strong. So another really strong consideration for your utility line. So for our recap, let's go ahead and take a look at the stuff that we pulled from our booster box and supply set. So in our supply set, we pulled 1 copy of the Pyrrha level 0, as well as the triple R for the Yang Climax. And then for our booster box, a lot of red here. We pulled the Cinder level 3, Ruby level 3, a second copy of the Pyrrha level 0, the Lai Ren level 0, and the Weiss level 1. And for our foils, guys, just look at this. Look at this opening. This is crazy. We pulled both the Pyrrha triple R Climax for her level 3, as well as the Secret Rare. Just one more time. We just got to get a good look at that. So yeah, that concludes our box opening. We do actually have the foils for the SPs, so we can go ahead and take a look at those. Since we did pull the Secret, we don't need to look at that, but let's go ahead and cut to the SP so you guys can get a good look at the stuff that you can expect to pull, or that you're going to be chasing to pull from RWBY. Alright guys, we're back with all of the SPs. We're actually going to be showing you guys every single one of the SPs that you guys are going to be chasing when you're opening RWBY. So first up, we do have the 2 trial deck SPs. As we mentioned earlier, you're looking at, as far as trial deck case ratios, you're looking at two SPs. Should be 1 of each, 1 RWBY, 1 Weiss, per sealed trial deck case of 48 trial decks. So first, let's take a look at the RWBY. Now, I don't know if you guys can see it that well, but the foiling pattern is all roses, and it's actually nuts. So this is the level 0 runner from the trial deck, and definitely a really, really nice card. And then on the Weiss, again, can't tell if you guys can see the foil pattern or not, but the entire foil pattern is snowflakes. And God, this is my first time seeing these in person, and these look really, really, really nice. So definitely gonna be chase cards if you're a big fan of RWBY. These cards look super nice. And then up next, we have the RWBY rares. So this is basically the RWBY exclusive rarity, and here we can take a look at each of the 4. So we have the RWBY level 3, Weiss level 3. Actually, it's just all 4 of the level 3s. So first with the RWBY level 3, the foiling pattern on these ones is more of just like a normal foil pattern. They do have their own unique foil patterns, but they're not like roses or snowflakes or anything like the trial deck SPs were, but definitely do look nice as well. Has the symbols for each of their semblance on them as well. We take a look at the Weiss level 3. This is the back row support, I believe. Yeah. Okay. And the Blake level 3, this is the one with the mocha combo that we mentioned earlier on. And then finally the Yang level 3 that allows you to give another character the cancel burn. So some very nice RWBY rares here. And then moving on now to the big ones. If you guys haven't seen these yet, like in actual card form as opposed to just like their sample images, then you'll probably be just as surprised as I was when I first saw these, because these look kind of crazy. So as you can see, the SPs in RWBY do have the rainbow SP text. So basically like the same rainbow that you would see on, it's on like the PYRRHA on the text, as well as cards in Japanese. Like if you guys have seen SSPs from HoloLive, they use rainbow text like this, which is a very different style than the rainbow text that we're used to seeing from a lot of English SSPs. For example, the ones from Bang Dream Girls Band Party. Those ones use more of a just like gradient across, where like it starts at green and then goes to blue and then goes to purple. But on these ones, they have this beautiful rainbow text, and it just looks absolutely fantastic. As far as the foil patterns on these, they are kind of like the RWBY rares, more abstract foil patterns, but they still just look absolutely gorgeous in person. And again, this is my first time seeing these in person as well, and I think they just look fabulous. Here we have the level 3 Blake early play. Unfortunately, a card that we did not pull, but definitely another one that you're going to want to look out for in its base rarity form, as it's a really, really strong play at level 2 for RWBY. And finally, we have the Yang level 0 Clean Cut, another card that unfortunately we didn't pull, but another one to look out for as well. So yeah. And then, of course, for the last one, we do have our freshly pulled PYRRHA Secret Rare. And so there you have it. There are all of the SPs and Secret Rare and RWBY rares that you can expect to be chasing in your RWBY packs, in your RWBY boxes. Hopefully you guys can pull any of these. We'd love to hear if you guys are pulling cases, opening these super, super nice chase cards. Let us know down in the comment section what you guys have pulled yourself. If you guys have pulled anything really cool, if you guys pulled exactly what you were looking for, just like I did in this pack opening. This concludes our RWBY product opening. If you guys have any questions or comments, feel free to leave those down below, and stay tuned for more of our RWBY content coming forward. We're going to have lots of stuff for you guys. We're going to have some deck building sessions, so you guys can take a look at our deck building process on the fly as we build our own stuff. And of course, we're going to have the usual stuff like deck profiles, gameplay matches, all the works. This is one of the biggest releases, if not like the biggest release of 2021 for Weiss Schwarz. So moving into 2022 with the new year, we're hopefully going to just have a lot of really fun content for you guys. So look forward to that. And until next time, this has been She's a Cats on the Tressa's Collectibles channel, and see you next time. Bye.